Today's angel of the day is the Dare to Dream Foundation.
Well, first of all, Jan, we thank you for joining us on Heaven 97, and we understand that you're the founder and an author, Dare to Dream Children's Foundation. Tell us about that, Jan.
Yes, it's an organization this year. It's 27 years young, I should say. And it was started on a card table in my bedroom with just a dream and a prayer saying, God, if you're calling me to go into ministry, help me to know that it's me, that it's you and not me just trying to do something. So I set up a card table in my bedroom, put a telephone on it, and that was my office. And I wanted to have donated office space because I said, again, chances of that happening, it's impossible. Well, after almost a year of calling, I ended up with over 2,000 square feet of donated space. So I knew that it was God and not me.
Wow, that sounds great.
I was raised in the foster care system in New York City and had alcoholic parents and a mother that had a nervous breakdown when I was born, and she actually ended up in a mental institution. So there were lots of good and bad, ugly experiences as a child. And I just felt as an adult that life had to be better for kids who were just like me, and that I believe with the right encouragement and support that our young people and who end up being homeless adults, if they don't get the encouragement and support, is valuable. I think that each one of them matters, and I think each one of them have a right to be able to have a life worth living.
Yes. Well, Jen, the breakdown of our family values, can you talk to us about how that has contributed to the problem and some of your success stories?
Well, one of the things that I have discovered this year, because I was asked by an organization to do a class for homeless women, and I just didn't really have that on my radar to do. But when God calls you to do something, you just take a second look and say, well, why not? Well, it comes to find out when I really would question the women and let them know that I'm really interested in them personally, regardless of whatever their past was, that they would open up and share some of their past. And almost all the time it seemed that they had a horrendous childhood. They had just, addictive parents who were doing drugs, parents who didn't go to church, parents who just really weren't capable of raising them. And so being able to see that correlation has put a new place in my heart for homeless people, and seeing them after 9 weeks of having some Dare to Dream information and encouragement, that they're just transforming right before my very eyes. I'm seeing the dark faces that didn't have any joy in them to smiles and wanting to go out and make something better of themselves. And so to me, just to discover that has been a great attribute for me, even with working with the young people. One of my success stories is this. Dare to Dream goes into the juvenile detention centers and the Texas Youth Commission facilities, and whenever I travel, I always look for a facility because they're in every state that we can go to. When I go overseas and speak in refugee camps or go into places that most people don't want to go, it's still amazing the same. When you go in there with a heart and the love of God, things can change. And so I had one particular boy that was in detention, and I opened the mail one morning at my office, and there was a very neat letter from a young man. He said, you may not remember me, but I was in detention when you were there, and you took me aside and spent some really good time with me and said some things. And he said that if I finished my time here and would go to school and get my, not GED, but get my graduation diploma, that you would give me a copy of your autobiography, She Dares to Dream, the Jan Tennyson story. He said, well, I've completed all of those requirements. And he had a copy of his diploma with the my Dare to Dream business card right on the diploma. And to me, that meant just such a world to me to say, oh, wow, there is a kid that really is out there that I know we helped, because we don't always know, because the kids are very transient. The young people are transient that come into the detention centers, and they're from all over. And so to know that I know that we've got a lot more than one, but that was one who acknowledged that that's where the advice came from.
Yes. And one last quick point for you, Jan, as we have looked at your book and look at what you're doing, what impact are you having on future fathers and mothers and their children? What are you hoping to hear the Lord say?
Well, number one, I believe that my book and everything that I'm about, and it's not just done by me. I have recruited incredible Christian people to come on a team to join me in group home shelters, detention centers, and orphanages, and mission trips, to be able to take the love of God into those places and to build their faith. That's the biggest objective, to build the faith of people that are sitting on the fence or just really weak. And this has, from all the testimonials that I'm having, it's telling me that this is happening. You know, you can go on our website, which is daretodream-dallas.org, and there is a section there that has testimonials of people that have read the book, and the amazing stories that they tell me of hope when they really didn't think that they could go on anymore. And I was speaking to a military family, and they said that they wanted this book to go into the hands of their soldiers in Afghanistan, and to get some of the letters back from some of those people who said, wow, if God can do that for you, I said, yes, He'll do it for you too. And so really building faith is the biggest objective for me with that book. And it was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into it, because I had to take a lot of onions and peel them to get through some of the experiences.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, Jan, once again, we want to just thank you so much for your time, and we thank you for being obedient to let the Lord use you in such a way to bless generations and generations to come. And may the Lord continue to bless and keep you, Jan. And once again, we thank you so much for your time.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thank you, and God bless you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.